It's been a while since you've done a solo episode. Why did now feel like the right time?
It feels like the right time because I want to address the elephant in the room. I have been missing. So I wanted to come back and just say that I had to take a quick break, right? Life got crazy. Life got in the way. So I wanted to update my audience. Life got crazy. When I started my podcast, I was laid off. I know y'all tired of hearing that story, but I had a lot of free time and I was so motivated and I was so amped up and I just hit the ground running, and starting a new role has really taken more of my time and attention than I thought it would. And then also, just being honest, I got a little demotivated, right? I started to get distracted with, like I said, with work and then with personal, and I lost sight of my goal. And again, when you stop doing something, sometimes it's scarier to start again just because of the embarrassment, the shame of having to say, hey, y'all, I know my consistency fell off, but I'm back. No worries. I'm back. So yeah, this felt like the time to just get back on track. I'm much more settled in where I am in terms of my employment. I feel like I know my job. I feel like I have a routine and consistency, and I know that this is my bigger goal. So it's like, get back to your goals. I feel like restarting is so important, and coming back and actually talking about it is so important because most times things like this, people start channels and do content and it just goes away. And it's just like, dang, you ain't doing that no more because you're too embarrassed to restart. And I'm like, this is just a continuation. We took a little pause. I gave y'all a little break. Y'all can watch our other content, but we're restarting and we're refocused and we're going to be better than ever. So I think that having a conversation about restarting is important because we all have to restart things. We all fall off. We all get distracted. There become priorities that are bigger than what we were doing before. But also, as I've taken a step back, I've also recognized that I'm really clear on what the podcast is becoming, right? It's not just a place for me to talk anymore. This is a resource. It's a resource for leaders. It's a resource for entrepreneurs, business professionals that are navigating this space. We are in a crazy time, right? And we need more than ever, not just talk, but actual resources and tools to move your career forward, to move your business, to scale your business, all of the things that you are doing. You need a way to really take it to the top. And that's what I feel like the podcast is going to turn into. And that's what I would like for it to become. Coming here and just talking about restarting, right? This is something people are typically navigating quietly. It's the beginning of the year. We all are like, new year, new me. We had goals from last year that we didn't accomplish. We have goals this year that we want to accomplish. So really just saying the quiet part out loud, like consistency is hard and you get rewarded for consistency. Also, starting over is hard as well. And it's a little embarrassing, but it takes a lot of courage. And I wanted to come and say, thank you for your patience. I appreciate those who are viewing again and who will be viewing, but I know that the new direction and the strategy that I'm using for our future of the podcast is going to be bigger and better than ever. So don't call it a comeback. We just took a little break.
You stepped back for a bit. What did that pause give you?
So it gave me a few things, right? It gave me clarity on the fact that I really have something amazing. It gave me clarity on the fact that I want this to be more than just a conversation. I want this to be a resource. I want this to be something that people can use to pour into themselves and to make themselves better. And it also, just gave me confidence because I'm like, dang, so many people sit down with me or have had conversations with me or have watched my podcast and they believe in my mission and my message. And I don't think that I felt like I would be getting that response, right? And of course, some people just say it to flatter you, but there are a lot of people that have told me that they've watched my podcast or they've seen some of my episodes, and I would never think that they would even get something from it. So I recognize the power that I do have and the fact that I need to continue to go because this is my vision, as well as I want to give others tools and resources to help them become who they want to become as I'm on the mission to become who I see myself as.
So what's different about this season, especially going into 2026?
Oh my gosh. 2025, our word of the year was execution. I had so many dreams. I had so many plans. I had so many things that I always wanted to do, but I was just scared to do it. And I told myself, 2025, I'm just going to execute. Think, not be nervous, not be scared, just execute. And I was successful in that. And when you execute, you get confidence, you feel yourself, but you also are going 100 miles per hour with no real direction. Weaknesses is having all these grand ideas and all these grand plans and then never executing on them because I wanted everything to be perfect. Well, last year I was just executing, but without a strategy or without systems. So now I feel like I'm in a space where I've proven to myself that I can do it. I've proven to myself that I will do it. And now I want to apply some strategies to grow the channel, to grow my vision. So this year is, for me, is more about strategy and execution, right? So I feel like I want to come back and I want to build my infrastructure. I realize that, again, this is a tool and a resource. I want to focus on systems and ways, one, for me to stay consistent, but I also want to find tools to help you guys stay consistent or to help my audience to actually achieve the goals that we talk about. It's nice to have conversations with people who are successful, but also what resources can I provide to you to help you be successful in your everyday walk of life? So that's more of my mindset. That's more of my shift in thinking about how I can be a support system for my viewers. But this is the real hard work when you have to start over again and you have to gain trust and you have to gain respect. You also have to gain your confidence back and really just bridge that gap, right? From the last time that I saw you and the last time that you've seen me, I wanted to bridge the gap and say, like, I just took a little break. Life got crazy. We can all understand that.
You keep using the word resource. What does that actually mean?
It means that the podcast is evolving beyond conversations. We are building some really exciting things this year. Practical tools for people who are pursuing leadership roles, mentorship for those who are looking for mentors and looking for guidance in different spaces, right? My guests come from all different walks of life. Of course, we talk about technology, based in technology, but entrepreneurs and all the like will be on here. HR professionals, really picking their brains, getting the information and building tools for you to use in your everyday walk of life. Also things like guides for career pivots, transitions, how to network effectively. I'm also really working on networking content, right? So things like conferences, different events that are around the city. If you are in Houston, you're going to get tired of seeing me talk about networking events. I love a networking event, but I want to make sure that our community knows the opportunities that they have to go out and find mentors, to find colleagues, peers, others in their spaces, as well as things like boot camps or different courses and strategies that they can use to break into new career fields. So that's something that I will be working on. Our listeners, I want my listeners to walk away with clarity and things that are tangible that they can use and take with them. I know that the conversations are very impactful. My guests are very inspirational, but also I want you to have tools that you can use to be successful in your everyday life.
How does networking fit into this vision?
Networking is foundation. Oh my gosh. Networking is how I found every single guest, and I've met some really amazing people and built some connections and relationships. So networking is a pivotal part of what I will be focusing on. In terms of 2026, right? Like, it's not just about collecting contacts. It's not about just showing up at events and getting people's LinkedIn. It's about how can you have the right conversations and how can you move the conversation beyond the first time you guys talk, right? How do you get that next conversation? How do you get that resource? How do you get that person to be your mentor? How do you get them to do introductions for you to others that may impact I really want to help my viewers to think about how they show up professionally in these spaces, whether it's at work, whether it's at the grocery store, whether it's at a networking event, how you also articulate your value. What is your value? What is your mission? What are you trying to accomplish? And how do you allow someone to understand that, right? Like, how do you articulate that to someone else? As well as how to be visible without burning out. Right? Again, we're talking about me coming back after 2 months. I know it was just a little winter break. It was just a little winter break, guys. But again, how do you stay consistent, or how do you show up and have visibility without burning out, with being able to balance all of the other things that are important? And honestly, the priorities that you have in your life, like we're all adults, we know priorities shift every other day. One day you might wake up and think you're going to do something, and then your car breaks down. So how do you stay consistent throughout that?
You've talked about restarting a lot. Why is that such a focus?
Because it is like, one, it's the elephant in the room because I am restarting. Hello. But also because, again, I feel like consistency gets the glamour, but restarting gets the shame. And there is no shame in restarting, and just understanding that it's just a shift. It's just a pivot. You come back wiser. You come back stronger. If you're coming back, it takes a lot to pull yourself back up when you fall. I think talking about restarting is important because we all do it. And it's shame. And it seems like consistency is the only thing that gets rewarded. But consistency is not about perfection. The people that you see are consistent, they fall off too. They just get back up more than they stay down. So that's what I really want to just drive home. Like, this is the beginning of the year. Like, we all have goals. We will all fall short because we're human. But the most important part is picking it back up and continuing the race. And that's what I feel like I'm doing right now. And that's what I would encourage everyone to do as this year progresses and times get hard, or, again, your priority shifts. Just to continue to remember your mission. And no matter how long it's been, you can always get back up and restart, because it's your life. And as long as that's still your goal, it should be your mission to restart on that.
Is that why you started creating guides and tools alongside the podcast?
Yeah. So I recognize, I'm like, when I drop an episode, I need to drop some type of information for y'all, right? Because if something that we talked about, or something that the guest has discussed, whether it's a conference, whether it's a business loan, whatever it is, I feel like I should be providing tools that help you to continue the search for that information. Starting this year, yes, we will have tools, we will have guides, we'll have information alongside our episodes to help you to push the needle, right? It's enough to hear us talk about it, or it's enough to hear someone's journey, but what resources can I provide? And I think that having those tools and guides readily available will be beneficial for you. You might get it and you might never use it, and you may use it every single day. But I think it's important to provide some additional support and some additional resources as we are on this journey.
Who do you see benefiting most from this?
I see this being extremely beneficial for those who are ambitious, for those who are not afraid of change, for those who are innovators, thought leaders, professionals, those who are looking to make an impact in the world as well as in their future. I feel like this is a space for that. I think this is a space for growth and knowledge and conversation around that, especially in our age group. I feel like people that just want more, right? Like people who are looking to fulfill something that's meaningful and they don't want to do it alone. I feel like this is a space for them. I am doing it with y'all. Y'all are seeing me grow in real time, and I want to do whatever I can do outside of, talking to help you grow in real time.
What do you want listeners to do next?
Follow me on Instagram, Coffee Chat Pod __. That's where I'll be posting a lot of the tools, the resources, conferences, networking events. Also share the podcast as much as you can with others in your networks and in your communities. We want to spread the word. If you are navigating a restart, a pivot, a transition of any sort, make sure you grab the resource guide that I'm dropping with this episode. It's called the Restart Guide. Super excited. It's the top of the year, so definitely be beneficial for you or for others in your network. DM me on Instagram or look in the show notes and you'll be able to get access to that. We have a newsletter coming up and some other great things and opportunities. So I'm super excited and I'm looking forward to a fruitful 2026.